there, my name is Mary. I'm the Etsy seller for Dixie Weekend on Etsy. I started my monogram and embroidery shop in the summer of 2019, and I'm here today to tell you how you can start your own embroidery and monogram business and do it from the comfort of your own home. A very high-level overview of my shop is within the Etsy platform. My shop's name is Dixie Weekend. I sell personalized and monogrammed items such as cosmetic bags, baby items, and home decor such as napkins, cocktail napkins, and hand towels. So I want to tell you what I have learned along the way when starting an embroidery business and things that you can apply to yourself if you are also considering opening up a monogram and embroidery business. Okay, so first thing you want to do when you're thinking about opening an embroidery business is shop for the machine. I did not know where to start at all. All I knew is that's something that I want to do and how do I get my hands on that? And so really I just went to the power of Google and searched for something that was gonna get the job done but was also cost effective. These machines are not cheap, and full disclosure here, I have a very basic beginner machine and it still ran me a little over $1,000. I have the Brother PE800, yes, the Brother PE800, and again, this is a very beginner machine. I found that it was within my price point-ish. I wasn't really expecting to spend that much, but good news is I've already found a return on the initial investment of the machine. One tip that I have for you, and I will leave the link down below, is Mr. Vac and Mrs. So, or Mr. So and Mrs. Vac, one or the other, had a package for the machine as well as a package for the embroidery hoops and 2 boxes of colored thread. So and also they included stabilizer. So within this one package that I got delivered to my doorstep, I had the embroidery machine, I had stabilizer, I had embroidery hoops, and I had thread to go ahead and get started. Within that little box as well, with the thread, you get a little toolkit that has scissors as well as the little bobbin, box of bobbins, and the little thread clipper thing. Sorry, I'm not well versed and I'm certainly not an expert yet. Anyway, I felt that that was the most cost-effective option, and I think in totality it was $1,200, maybe a little over $1,200. But if you were to shop all of those items by themselves and buy them a la carte, you would have spent way over that amount of money. So for me personally, me and my family, that was the best investment for us to go ahead and get started. Once I unboxed the machine and kind of set everything out and played with it a little bit, I didn't know what to do next. So one thing that I really didn't know is that you needed an embroidery software. So with everything that you're embroidering, you have to actually make the design. So it's going to be within an embroidery software that you can have preloaded fonts, you can have preloaded pictures. If you wanted to purchase more fonts and more pictures, you can do that on the internet, on Etsy. I mean, there's a ton of sellers that sell the digital items. But anyway, you buy or download the fonts or whatever you're trying to embroider, and you load them into this embroidery software. I purchased the Embroidery Embrilliance Essentials software, which I will also link for you down below. None of these items are sponsored. This is just what I'm telling you my experiences. So I purchased that software and I Googled and got on YouTube to learn a little bit about the software, download it correctly, and make sure that I was using it correctly. I used their preloaded fonts that are already within the software just to practice with my machine, get myself comfortable with the hoops and the stabilizer, as well as just use some random towels that I wasn't using anymore around the house to really get myself familiar with the machine. And I will post another video with the basics that I've learned, things I like and don't like about the Brother PE800. But before you get started at all with anything that you're gonna need to embroider, you of course need the machine, the equipment, and the software. Okay, so once you have those items out of the way, you actually need to find what you're gonna monogram. In my case, I started with the closest thing that would be a white sheet of paper within the embroidery world, which is a white cup towel. So I was just taking kitchen dish towels and playing with the monograms, putting different designs and colors within the software and applying them to the towels, and they just This machine is so easy to use, so user-friendly, and the towels were coming out beautifully. I loved them so much. My family loved them very much, and I was using all of their monograms and initials for my initial samples just to, again, get myself familiar with the machine. And I'd say within a 2-week period, I was confident enough to go ahead and start making samples to take pictures of and post within my Etsy shop. So, you know, I really only found that I had spare time in between, like I have a baby and, you know, I have a full-time job. So any free time that I had that first couple of weeks, I was practicing with my machine. So really make sure that you're familiar, because once you post your first listing on Etsy, you never know how many listings you're gonna get. We will go into the specifics later of really making sure that you get all of your listings crafted beautifully to make sure that people want to buy your item. But anyway, I did that. I posted my item and stuff started selling, sure enough. So my next thing that I want to point out is make sure that you're managing your inventory. So I usually just buy my towels, or used to buy my towels on Amazon. That was before I had my wholesale tax permit. So I was just buying towels on Amazon, fairly inexpensive for, you know, little initial investment, and that was really easy. So just make sure that you're managing your inventory, because you could have 4 towels that you need to do, and next thing you know, you get another 4 orders, but only 2 towels left. So you definitely don't want to put yourself in a pickle such as that. So just make sure you have enough items to get completed if the amount of orders were to come in. The next thing that you're gonna do after you're making sure that you're comfortable with your machine, you're putting out a product that you feel is good quality for your customers, and you're really comfortable with what you're making, next I would advise that you practice on something else. Is there anything else that you feel would kind of fit within your niche and other customers would buy? Always have your dream customer in mind and think, what would they buy? So after I really got comfortable with my hand towels, I branched out a little bit and bought some blank cosmetic bags. Not only do I love and have personalized luggage and cosmetic bags, I knew that the type of customer that I was really targeting buys personalized cosmetic bags. So I searched and searched and searched and found a reasonably priced cosmetic bag that I feel comfortable with practicing on, and then eventually, once I perfected it, posting to my Etsy shop for my customers to buy. So I guess my point here is, after you've found and perfected your initial item and you've posted it to Etsy and you realize the type of people that are buying and searching for your items, consider what else they could purchase. So as of today in my shop, I started, if you were to search my shop in the first couple of weeks, I would only have hand towels. Specifically only monogrammed hand towels. Then after that, I branched out beyond just the hand towels and focused on holiday stuff. So I did my entire Christmas season with just Christmas hand towels, and in the mix there I added cosmetic bags. So just make sure that you're not diving in too deep and making your product line too broad and too much for you to manage, because again, you're probably one person who's not only learning the platform of Etsy and running a business, but 2, your actual product and how you're making it. So it's a big learning curve, and one that I had to learn. It wasn't super hard, but as I rolled out the cosmetic bags, I got a whole new wave or a different demographic of customer. So not only were the current customers that I was selling to buying these cosmetic bags, I was also getting nudges from sorority girls wanting specific cosmetic bags. I was getting nudges from brides looking for bulk orders and kind of wanting it in a quick turnaround. So that was another interesting learning curve. But anyway, just make sure that you're not growing your product line too quickly for you to keep up with. Okay, so on that same topic, it's kind of a good segue where I said that I had brides that were finding my cosmetic bags and wanting them kind of in bulk and wanting them as fast as possible. that is something that you really need to consider and be strategic about within your Etsy shop. Be realistic about not only your processing time, how long it takes you to make each item, but two, how long it would take for you to make each item, package it, and ship it to be delivered to the customer. So shipping is not cheap, and Etsy really encourages their sellers to have free shipping. So the customer that's buying your item is seeing free shipping, so they're kind of gravitating to your shop because nobody wants to pay shipping anymore. It's just the age that we're in, but nothing's free. Okay, so consider that. Even though the client or the customer is not paying for shipping, you are. So when you are getting these customers that are buying specific items, just consider when you're making your pricing that if you're offering free shipping, you are also paying a small fee on top of your listing fees to get the item shipped to them. So these brides that were buying, I had a bride buy 12 cosmetic bags from me in the month of December in the midst of Christmas season. It was wild, but I was so happy to do it. And I didn't consider that I was going to need to pack her 12 cosmetic bags in these 2 huge boxes and that it was going to be really expensive to ship it. That is not her problem. She purchased 12 cosmetic bags from me and got free shipping, and it's just something that I had to learn, that each item is going to be based on the weight, or the shipping cost is based on the weight and size of the package that you're shipping it in. And for these bulk items, it was not cheap. So I don't know exactly what you are interested in embroidering. Typically within our industry, it's going to be smaller, more petite items, but you might be shipping or embroidering these huge blankets to be shipped out to your customers. Just consider that those are heavy and they are bulky and will come at a cost to you. Okay, one of the last things that I want to talk to you about when setting yourself up for success with opening up your own embroidery company is making sure that you're pricing your items well. You can do a ton of research and go down these crazy rabbit holes on Etsy for specific items that are super high quality and also super highly priced, and other things that you can tell are pretty inexpensively made but are also really cheap items that you can get at a next to nothing cost. So just make sure that you are pricing your items not only for the type of quality and demographic that you're trying to reach, but also that you're pricing and considering your time. These are not easy to make, any of these embroidery items, especially when you're a beginner like I was, learning how to use the machine and make sure that your product is perfect for your newest customers. That takes time. So don't sell yourself short. Make sure that you're compensating yourself and including in your prices not only what you paid for the item and what it costs to make and ship to them, but also you're compensating yourself for your time. So with that being said, those are just a few of my tips that I want to share with you. I am absolutely loving the embroidery business and making all the items that my customers love with each monogram and each name on them. I just love every single one, and I'm happy to see that my customers are loving it as well as I am. My reviews speak for themselves, and I've got really great reviews, and I've seen people post my items on Instagram and pictures of it in their home, and it just feels so good. But I'm also making money. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's a business that you've started to either have some side money or eventually build it to be your full-time income. Whatever your purpose may be, just take it slow. Know that it will take time, and it's certainly something that you need to be patient with, not only to grow to whatever you want it to be, but also to perfect whatever it is that you're putting out there. So I hope that you take these tips, that you can apply them to the business that you already have, or if you're starting a business, that you can apply them and find all of the success that you could ever have with your embroidery business. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please follow me on Instagram at Dixie Weekend, and take a look at my Etsy shop at Dixie Weekend as well. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.